OK, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave now because I'm not going to let you speak on behalf of the whole entire channel because I've been doing. I'm going to. Yeah. Don't worry about that. It's a shame that it couldn't have finished a bit more cordial. It is, but it's clear where your alliances lie. Oh, my Thank you very much, Anne and Stephen. That was great.
Here we go again with the most sensitive people on the planet Earth complaining about everything and how everything is racist and how these people need to compete in what I call the Victim Olympics. As I usually say, I'm not going to talk anymore, so let's get into the video.
Here's a question for you. Is the countryside racist? Well, the Wildlife and Countryside Link, a charity group which includes the RSPCA, WWF and National Trust, says the British countryside is a racist colonial white space. MPs in an all-party parliamentary group were told that the countryside has been influenced by racist colonial legacies, created an environment some fear is dominated by white people.
So think about it. It sounds very woke, just like that. But the more you think about it, maybe you've had experience of something like that. Joining us now is anti-racism activist Iman Ayton, who thinks the countryside could be racist, and farmer Gareth Wyn-Jones, who thinks it's not. So we ought to hear from you first, I suppose, the idea that it's this colonial white space that's not welcoming to anyone of a different hue.
OK, well, firstly, I don't fully subscribe to that. I think it's safe to say this whole entire country is a colonial space, so that's not fully accurate. Let's just be fair on that. But I have to admit, this comes down to the fact that this whole entire country has been proven to be racist or have issues with racial prejudice.
I have to pause it already, but here we go again with these woke people and these victimized people talking about how everything is racist and everyone is racist against them when that's really not the case. These people just love to have a victim mindset and call everything racist because in today's day and age, when you're a victim, you are praised for being a victim.
Countryside is not exempt from that. And what people fail to realise is that in these particularly these spaces that are particularly dominated by white people, it can end up being it can feel quite exclusive. The reason why is because these individuals share the same culture, same values, which includes food, language, music, etiquette, manners, hobbies, etc. So when someone new comes along that's different, they can end up standing out like a sore thumb. They can end up not potentially fitting in. And then they also have to contend with the racial prejudice that kind of lies within that area. So there's that interesting dynamic of not necessarily fitting in because you're different, and then also racial prejudice that we have in this country.
But I wonder if is that feeding too much into it, in the sense, as a northerner...
What do you mean?
Well, because as a northerner, you know, someone new moves into the village, or whatever, who's a southerner, for example, and it's very odd, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but...
Exactly.
But I don't think that's any different to the rest. I can't imagine. I can't imagine anyone I know having an additional layer of prejudice, or you know, oh, it's a stranger in the village
that's where you're wrong,
black.
sir. We all have prejudice. Prejudice comes in many forms. Racial prejudice. We can have prejudice based off of.
Doesn't mean we have to have it though.
No. It's actually a part of our brains. It's actually called social categorizing. It's a part of our brain. Basically, it just means that we simplify everything around us, and so we put things into boxes, which means that we assume.
But surely
it's actually a normal cognitive process of the brain. So when you talk about you don't know anyone that has extra layers, I do apologise, Anne, but we do have extra layers of prejudice. We have our own prejudice, and we have prejudice in other areas such as
the
race,
issue here,
gender, etc.
The real issue here is whether, because this is what came up at this all-party parliamentary committee, the issue is how lovely little villages that we think of as beautiful English villages, or, you know, Welsh, Irish, Scottish, anywhere, the quintessentially British sort of village life is... The idea is that it is so white, and historically so as well, that it's not welcoming to anyone of a different skin colour or whatever. Let's go to Gareth. I mean, where you live, for instance, do you believe that you are prejudiced towards white people or not welcoming to anyone else.
Black people want to be victims so bad of everything. Of course, people will be surprised to see people who look different to themselves come into a culture that normally doesn't have those people come into it. That's just human nature. But to call it racism is just pure stupidity, and you just really want to be a victim as per usual with these types of people.
Do you know what? I've lived my life in the countryside and I've never come across racism. You know, and I've got a lot of friends of all ethnic backgrounds. Now, I'll give you an example. So a few years ago, in our beautiful little Welsh village called Llanfairfechan, and it's a fantastic, beautiful place, the local Nissa shop, or Spar as it was then, was taken over by Mr. Pasham, okay, an Indian guy. And he came in, and what a gentleman. And let me tell you, during COVID and during lockdown, that man was running around this village with packets for old people. And, you know, at Christmas, when I went in there, he would give me a box of Thatchers just to thank me for giving him his customer. He's a lovely guy.
Before we get back into the video, I need everyone to turn on their post notifications so that you get notified whenever one of my videos come out. Like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. Let us get back into the video.
Now, one of the guys that works there had gone away for a couple of weeks. He's an Indian as well, and he went away for a couple of weeks, and he came back. And this is what he told my wife the other day. He said he'd been to London, and when he came back to work in the shop, everybody came into the shop and asked him where he'd been, that they'd missed him. So it's poppycock that these people are trying to call the countryside racism. Anybody that wants to come and work and fit in will fit in. Anybody that wants to come in and think that we're racist or racism happens will have it in their mindset. So it is a choice, you know, for the individual, but the majority of people are welcoming.
It's very interesting that people like this woman want cultures to change according to the people that come in, when it should be the other way around, and the people that come into a certain culture should assimilate to that culture that they're coming into. These people want to change everything all in the sake of themselves. And it's very funny because it just shows how selfish these people are, that they want things to change just because of the fact that they've came into a certain place. But for some reason in these Western countries where we are so technologically advanced, and if the country is that bad, why don't you just move to another country? But they never seem to do that.
My perception of it.
Why laugh, Iman, at that?
Okay, so I appreciate your anecdotes about your shopkeeper and etc. I appreciate that story, but the reality is, with all due respect, firstly, you are not a black person, so you can't actually speak in terms of lived experiences. Let me finish, please. You can't actually speak on lived experiences of black people. So when you say there's no racism, well, that's from your perspective, with your lived experiences as a white man. What we can talk about is the many experiences of black and brown people that have actually moved into the countryside. The BBC actually did a whole really good article about a lovely man. His name was Jag Patel. He spoke about the fact that he moved into the countryside and just was so shocked at the amount of prejudice that he had to contend with.
And this is why these people cannot be taken seriously. She goes on to laugh after the man made his statement, and the reason she was laughing was because of the fact that he brought up anecdotal evidence. She then goes on rambling on as she was at the beginning and brings up anecdotal evidence to say that there is racism, which is very hypocritical, but I don't expect much from these people.
That's why I speak about the lack of diversity, because what happens when you don't have many black and brown people in a particular area is that you end up leading with prejudicial views because you don't have a lived experience of a certain thing. So therefore you're assuming, which is prejudice.
Yeah, but
and that makes
what
an
you're
area
doing,
quite hostile.
forgive me, but
and
what...
so this is why
let me get a word in.
I'm not actually referring to this.
No, but I've got
families end up feeling as if they're dealing with abuse, more abuse than probably in metropolitan areas, and that is my point, sir. You don't have that lived experience. So consider other experiences of black and brown people. Please go ahead, Stephen. I do apologise. I just wanted to finish my point.
I know, but you're not
before you interrupted
forgive me, but you're not going to get very far if you don't allow.
You interrupted me.
Yes, but that is my
job.
job.
No,
yes, that is my job.
And my job is to make sure I say my piece. So we've both got a job today, Stephen.
Yeah, but the point is, what you did there is you brought up a case example of someone...
Just like this lovely gentleman.
But you dismiss his case example. Say, oh, this person had
called a debate.
had a racist experience.
But
his racist experience...
Stephen, what on earth are you talking about?
That his
I offered a retort to this lovely gentleman's story about the
experience
shopkeeper.
may well be in the minority, actually, of what is going on.
Just like this... Exactly. So exactly, I'm actually going to validate your point. It could be in the minority, just like this gentleman. He's actually talking as if he can speak on behalf of all of the countryside.
No, he's not.
Yes, he's actually talking as... He just said it categorically.
No,
Listen to the words.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He just said that there is no racism in the countryside.
Well, let's give him a chance to speak.
He just said it.
Yeah, let's get...
Stephen,
Gareth,
you
come
need
back
to listen.
You
need to listen.
Gareth, go on.
Gareth.
I really cannot believe what you've just said. You've got no idea who I am, what I do. And let me just tell you, yeah, I have been under the cosh because, you know what? I'm first language Welsh. But
you're not black. But I appreciate you.
Can I finish, please?
Black.
Can you give me an opportunity?
Because we're talking about racism in terms of racism towards black people.
Listen, the Welsh language was oppressed for years and years and years. The Welsh language, when the children would go to school, they would put the Welsh...
Colonialism will do that.
This type of woman will be the same type of person who will complain about being stereotyped, but here she is acting out the stereotype that many people do stereotype her type of person as. It's very funny that her very actions on this show just go to show you the stereotype that many people do say that they are. But if you were to call it out, they will say that you're racist, as she is doing right now.
Put a Welsh knot around their necks to stop them from speaking the Welsh language.
Colonialism.
We know what oppression is.
We're now getting there, Gareth. We're getting there now.
No. Listen to me.
We are. I know it hurts,
and
but
I'm
we are.
open-minded. I think you are closed. You are closed-minded and you're looking for the negatives. And that's what
you made it clear you were very closed-minded, sir, because you led with sweeping statements.
That's what causes the problem and racism is when people speak like you and push that narrative.
What did I say that was racist, sir? What did I say that was racist, sir? Please make it clear. Gareth, what did I say that was racist? You just said that people like me are the ones that are racist. Please make it clear. What is it that was racist?
I didn't say. I said you're pushing the narrative.
No, you didn't say that, though, did you? You're now correcting yourself, Gareth. You didn't say that originally.
You're just picking.
Okay, never mind. You didn't say that originally, though, did you? You said that I was racist, and I gave you an opportunity to make that clear as to what it is that I said that was racist, and you have failed. So no problem. We can move on. I don't want to linger on this particular point.
Well, absolutely.
OK, well, we'll leave it there.
Towards language and towards the people.
Sorry, Gareth, I can't hear you.
There is no racism.
I can't hear him. You just heard me, and I can't hear him. Please speak a bit louder for me, please.
No, we're going to call a halt to this because this is getting out of order.
OK,
Imran, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gareth.
Thank you very much.
And
our apologies if you felt you didn't quite get enough of us say.
Of course not.
Another day. Hopefully.
Another day, another time.
I don't even know how people are able to be around this type of person. But in today's day and age, if you were to complain about this type of person, they'll just label it as racist.
Oh, right. No, I did huffing and puffing in the background. But it's fun to... I tell you what we like to do on this channel is listen to other people and then try and absorb their points.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave now because I'm not going to let you speak on behalf of the whole entire channel because I've been doing. I'm going to. Yeah. Don't worry about that. It's a shame that it couldn't have finished a bit more cordial. It is, but it's clear where your alliances lie.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much, Anne and Stephen. That was great.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Well,
pleasure.
You won't be back, I can tell you that.
No, I definitely won't be, Anne. Thank you for making it dead clear as to how I was feeling. I appreciate you.
Unfortunately, your mic is off.
I don't know how she came on the show and thought what she said was valid. It was absolute stupidity, and everything that came out of her mouth was also stupidity. But anyway, that was another video, another reaction. As I usually say, if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video as much as possible, comment down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy, and I'm out.